Hello, folks. This is your hillbilly historian coming to you from the hills of East Tennessee, where we believe in truth, honesty, integrity, the American way, justice, and all that good stuff, common sense, reason, rationality, all the things that the left never thinks about. The left is batshit crazy. Democrats, DSA, Democrat Socialists of America, all them people are batshit crazy. Simply because wealth has to be created. That's what capitalism helps in the free market creates. But the ignorant left, socialism, they have to take, tax, nationalize, take everything away from the working man, steal. That's all they know how to do. And they have to use slave labor like the Chinese do constantly, like the Russians did in their gulags. That's the only way they can create wealth is through slave labor. Russia used to starve its own people and sell farm products, especially grain, wheat, to foreign countries so the communists would have some cash to operate on. Starve their own people so they could stay in power. That is socialism, folks. But anyway, today I want to talk about this left, always in the media, and the media is nothing but dumbass leftists in this country. That's all they are now. They always talk about the unwinnable, quote, unwinnable Vietnam War. That war was winnable. If you saw Ted Turner's 1985 interview of General Jip, he said they were ready to surrender 3 times. But that war was a political war to create wealth. It was a socialist-founded war to create wealth for the military-industrial complex here in the United States. It was a political war, a stupid war. Ho Chi Minh fought with my father and 4 uncles against the Japanese and Germans in World War II. Ho Chi, he just fought against the Japs, but they got some help from the Germans. And Ho Chi Minh, when the Japanese drove the French out of Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh asked us after the war not to let the French come back in there. And that dumbass hick from Missouri, dumber and batshit crazy hick, caused the deaths of thousands upon thousands of American young men because he let the French go back in there. And then Eisenhower sent blacks from Germany, black units, to fight in 1953 and 54 secretly on the side of the French. The French still couldn't win. Jesus Christ! These people that we elect in office cause the deaths of so many of our people. And right now, the left media is talking every day about how Trump has lost the Iran war. Trump ain't lost jack shit. And if the American people don't fall in behind Trump and wipe them damn evil, satanic, Islamic assholes out of power and return the power to the Persian people in Iran, then they're going to cause the deaths of many, many, many more thousands of Americans. Trump right now is kicking their ass up one side and down the other, and we're not losing anybody. 12, 13, 14, 15 men is all we have lost in that war. And we need to finish that thing now. We need to end those religious nut jobs, Islamists, that are got control of that country. We've got to put an end to them. Trump has wiped out 2 levels of their leadership. Now he don't know who the hell's leading. You know, it's hard to target somebody when you don't know who the hell to target. But anyway, we got to win that now. We got to stick behind Trump. We got to finish them mullahs, those religious nut jobs over there in Iran once and for all time. Finish them, so that we don't have to put up with Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis and all these damn terrorists running around the world. It's just absolutely amazing that the press in this country wants those mullahs, those satans over there to win. They talk about it every day. Trump's lost that war. Iran has won that war. Iran ain't won shit. But our media will lie to us and get us into, the left will get us into another situation like Harry Truman did. You know, Harry Truman let Stalin take over all of Eastern Europe. He let Mao take over China. He let France go back in. I mean, the dumb decisions that idiot made were right out of Marx, Karl Marx, and the communists that dumb hick from Missouri had working for him in the State Department and in his administration. When old Truman said he felt like a hayloft fell on him, I wish it had. I wish it had fell on him and killed that stupid son of a bitch. It's just amazing how we get these stupid Democrats in office and they cause the deaths of thousands of our young men over nothing. All they had to do was show some backbone and some balls. At the time, Patton could have been in Moscow in 2 weeks. Jesus Christ. You know, Truman turned his back on 5,000 American troops, POWs, that Russia had liberated in those eastern POW camps, and they were going to use those 5,000 Americans as slave labor in their gulags until Patton had his men drive their tanks up eyeball to eyeball of the Russians, said, give us our 5,000 men, or else, by God, I'll open fire. And they did. They turned them loose. And those boys were able to come home. But 47 were never accounted for. So there you go. Socialism, communism. It is pure evil. You know, that coward, Winston Churchill, at the end of the war, he had liberated a whole lot of Polish POWs, and he had 90,000 Russian POWs that he had liberated, and Stalin wanted them back. And they begged Churchill not to turn them over because they knew that as a POW, they would be shot. They would, and you know what? Churchill turned all 90,000 of them over to Stalin, and Stalin lined all 90,000 of them up against the wall and had them shot, or sent them to the gulags for slave labor if they were healthy enough. And you know, there were a whole lot of Russian warriors there in the Ukraine area, and had centuries of history of being great warriors. And they told Churchill, please don't turn us over to Stalin. He'll have us all shot. And sure enough, Churchill, that cowardly SOB, and you know, Stalin had taken over Poland, and when the airmen were honored in England for the great Battle of Britain, where they defeated the Luftwaffe, and Polish airmen were a significant portion of the pilots who did that. Churchill wouldn't allow those Polish pilots to be honored because he was scared of Joseph Stalin. I just can't believe politicians make these decisions that cause the deaths of thousands upon thousands of our young men. And right now, Trump is kicking Iran's ass without losing young men, without, he hasn't even lost as many men as Biden lost. And Biden was in charge of that Afghan war and was making such a mess out of it. We finally got out of there. He lost more men than Trump has lost. And the media covered up for the idiocy of Biden every single day and for his cognitive decline. It's amazing what we let our media and our government get away with. We've got to wake up in this country and start electing MAGA people, Tea Party people, Christian coalition people, the very people our government wants to suppress. And my God, if you Democrats, if you people vote in the Democrats, if they take over the House and Senate this November, that'll be the end of America. That'll be the end. You can just say, forget it. Capitalism will be gone. Supreme Court will be gone. Law will be gone. Justice will be gone. We'll be under another socialist government. Our elections will be gone. 2028 will be stolen like it was in 2020, and forever. If we put Democrats back in power in Washington, D.C., you better believe it, that'll be the end of this country. The unwinnable Vietnam War, we could have won it, but politicians didn't have the backbone or the balls or the guts or the courage to stand up to the Marxists in this country. In fact, they were infiltrated by so many Marxists, they just couldn't they always made the wrong decisions. LBJ, Truman, these people, they were sick, and they cost the lives of a good many great young American men because of their idiocy. I know people here in our town that are suffering from Agent Orange and other PTSD and all kinds of other things because of that idiot, Harry S. Truman, moron from Missouri. My God, I just can't believe we put people like that in office that destroy the young men of this country. That unwinnable war was very winnable, like every war is, and like this Iran war is right now. It is winnable. Trump is winning it every day. And so what if we have to pay $3.50, $4 a gallon of gas? It's worth it to remove these satanic mullahs, these religious fanatic nut jobs who every day scream death to America. If we don't get rid of them and turn Iran back over to the Persian people, it'll just many tens of thousands of young American men will have to die in the future. So there you go, from your hillbilly historian from hills of East Tennessee. And thank God it's less than a week till football kickoff time. High school football's already started. Our high school here got crap beat out of them. I don't know, 40 to 20 or something like that. But Scott High over there in Scott County won big. And Oneida woke up the second half, pulled out a game, started off with winning records. And I've been watching, I watched Baylor high school team with Peyton Manning's son, number 16, playing quarterback. That was fun to watch. Another Manning coming up through the system. It's I wish Archie had done a little better. I hope Marshall Manning, Peyton's son, I hope he does better than Arch did in college. But he'll get a good training down there in Baylor, and then we don't know where he'll play college ball. Maybe he'll go to Tennessee like his dad, Peyton. But anyway, you guys have a good day. The weather has cooled off. It's really beautiful out there. Enjoy life. Enjoy life. And vote against some dumbass people that destroy our nation. You have a good day.